And now, our centering time with Arliss Dudley Cash. Thank you, Arliss.
Welcome, everyone. I invite you to take on a comfortable position for your body. Allow yourself to relax. Take a deep breath in. And as you let it out, go ahead and close your eyes. Allowing your hands to relax. Allowing your jaw to relax. Allowing your shoulders to drop down and moving into that peaceful place. If it feels comfortable for you, I invite you to envision yourself walking down a beautiful hallway to the door of your safe space. As you walk down that hallway and the door gets closer, feel that feeling of peace and reassurance and joy at being able to enter your safe space. And as you open the door, see your safe space. It may be a room with cushy pillows and beautiful draperies and a gorgeous color on the wall. It may be an outdoor space with lush grass, or maybe you walk onto a beach. Whatever your safe space is, find a comfortable place to sit down. And as you sit in your safe space, I invite you to welcome in your past self from this last year, a version of yourself from 2023. Invite that version of yourself to sit next to you. Look upon yourself with deep love and gratitude and respect and care. Welcome your past self as though they are a best friend, because they are. I invite you to take their hands and ask your past self, what am I to learn from this past year to bring forward with me? What wisdom is mine to have to bring into 2024? And listen to your past self. As your past self finishes up, thank your past self for all of the wisdom and joy and love and care and resiliency your past self had to get you to this moment. I invite you to reach out your arms, embrace your past self, and hold your past self tighter and tighter and tighter until they become one with you again. And now I invite you to invite a future version of yourself to sit down on the other side of you. This future version of yourself from 2024 that has wisdom to tell you for the coming year. Take the hands of your future self and ask, what am I to learn in this coming year? What wisdom do you have for me? What joys are coming to me in this year? And as you look at your future self with love and care and respect, Be open to that wisdom. I invite you, as your future self finishes, for the moment, for you to reach out and embrace your future self with love and care, and hold them tighter and tighter and tighter until they become one with you again. Knowing that all versions of yourself are always with you, are always in you. Take one last look around your safe space, knowing that you can return here at any time, that you can have conversations with any version of yourself at any time, that through your direct connection to Source, that you have that wisdom within you at all times. I invite you now to get up from your comfortable space and come back to the door and start walking back down the hallway. Walking back down to this time and space, to your physical body. I invite you to wiggle your fingers and toes and take a deep breath in and open your eyes. Namaste.
And now, concluding our December theme, Return to the One, we welcome back Carol Burbank with her message, Dreaming in the Dark to Light Our Way. Carol Burbank is a columnist for the Center for Science of Mind magazine. She's the founder of Story Weaving Coaching. She lives in Maryland with 2 cats and a sprawling, wild-hearted garden. Let's welcome Carol Burbank.
Hi, everyone. I'm really honored to be here, and to be with, if only virtually, a community of people that I was lucky enough to meet a few weeks ago, when I went and was able to visit West Hawaii and the West Hawaii group. Such a beautiful group of people, and I'm so excited to be here. I love the quote, the reading, because it ties in exactly with my message today. And I just want to say, I just adore the synchronicity that comes in all of these gatherings, and and how the world comes together in spirit for all of us to learn and know. I was inspired to talk about this today, partly because when I last shared my thoughts with you in October, we talked about the both and, a sacred practice that opens up possibility and grace. Here I am again, honored to share with you another way to know that practice, dreaming in the dark to awake the light. Once again, combining yes and through the wisdom that comes in the revolutionary wholeness of the oneness that is both darkness and light simultaneously. At the turning of the year, we have a chance to let go of what no longer serves us and to claim a transformative intention for our next steps. Now, there are a lot of ways to do that, of course. Whatever your 2024 resolution might be, and even if you haven't set one, because a lot of people don't do those resolution things, today I want to invite us to consider a maybe unexpected way to say yes and to wholeness in the turning of the year. Because wholeness isn't just immersion in the light, even though we love to use the metaphor of light to understand God and God's ways in the world. In truth, God's love and wisdom is present everywhere, in the clarity of light and mental focus, and in the healing power of the darkness and the unknown. We can't truly manifest wholeness without traveling through both these sacred spaces. I think most of us don't entirely trust the darkness. Look at our winter rituals. As the sun sets earlier and earlier, we turn on all the sparkling lights. We stay up late, bathed in the light of our phones and computers and televisions. Sometimes we can't sleep. We're so full of plans and fears and hopes. We breathe a sigh of relief on the solstice as we move towards longer days and shorter nights. At least I do. We are so happy when darkness lifts, when the earth turns back to spring. We love the glories of a late and lingering sunset, the new green shoots, the seasonal fruits. We hunger for the berry, the harvest of our winter labors, confirmations of our alignment with God, however we understand God to be. But we are not that different from our plant cousins. Manifestation requires gestation in the earth, where we can feel but not see the sun. Darkness is not only necessary, but precious. For human seekers, it is the space where what we do not know turns into questions that rise to new knowledge. It is the birthplace of manifestation. The darkness is no stranger to the light, even above ground. What would stars be without the velvet blue that becomes the surrounding black of night? Where would we be without the swayed pleasures of sleep, where darkness opens itself to the mad imaginative space, where the divine speaks to us directly in our dreams, in a language only we can understand? In the spiritual path, being willing to live for a time in the unknown always creates greater light. Naturally, as we embrace the unknown, the divine embraces us like a precious seed, and we move into evolutionary manifestation. In alignment with God, we trust and celebrate the mysteries we cannot yet name. But because we're human, we hunger always to learn the names, to say the names, to own the names, to claim the names, to bring our deeply felt prayers for healing, for love to the light, even before we feel the power of the mysteries that fuel us. To truly thrive, we must surrender to the dark joy of these soulful mysteries, these names that we cannot actually yet use, that birth us so we can rise to the joy we can sustain. We earn the privilege of becoming the seed of our own destiny. Today, I hope you remember what your soul already knows, the partnership of darkness and light. The divine is always alive in us, wherever we are, whatever we are feeling, whatever we know, whatever we believe we must be or do. And when we remember this, we thrive. The light and the dark are whole together. From the unknown rises discovery, and from discovery, manifestation that awakens the new in our lives. It is the light of becoming. Come to it prepared from the foundational strength, from the darkness. Here I want to invite you for a moment to remember the vitality of darkness at some moment in your life. Maybe you faced a moment of decision, or maybe you found a turn in your healing process, or maybe you had a dream at night which just illuminated. You see, we can't help but use the language of light always when we talk about knowing and not knowing, but a dream that opened up a space so you could grow. A moment when the unknown excited you, where the questions were more interesting than the answers you thought you knew, where assessments of possibility and impossibility didn't matter, where your soul uncurled and stretched. Maybe it was a time when you fell in love, or maybe you said yes to an opportunity that was excitingly uncertain. For me, that's the feeling of being young and alive, and we can have it no matter what our age is, because it is the feeling of the force as The force that through the green fuse drives the flower, as Dylan Thomas said, the force that drives us to our growth. We leap forward with curiosity and hope, and just enough fear to stay safe enough to explore and grow. Can you think of a time like that? I can't see everyone on the call, but I hope you can think of something. Can you think of a time when you just took that leap of faith into the unknown? That's a leap into the darkness as well as the light, because they are wholly, wholly present all the time. In these moments, the unknown becomes a womb, yes, of leaping forward with curiosity and hope. There is no certainty, no language, but the heartbeat of God. A place of being as being, not necessarily doing. A place where the leap of faith helps us dive into learning and listening. Not knowing, not yet. Unless you count the inchoate, the unspoken knowing, the knowing that cannot be shared through language. And I often do. Life often brings us to these crossroads. Sometimes we say yes. Sometimes we turn tail and run into wherever we felt safe. Still, many of you, most of you, have at least once in your life dived into the darkness and been rewarded. For example, and I bet some of you have faced this crossroads, you know you need to change your job, but you haven't seen the next job you want to claim. You are torn between the known and the unknown. The devil you know is torturing you, and the devil you don't know is scary. You've forgotten that there's no devil here, just a prod from God. We all do. There's always a moment we all forget. You're afraid to let go of what isn't working, afraid of the consequences of letting go. You have to leap, but your next step will drop you into that rich loam of darkness of the unknown. It's a hard first step. Our fear of darkness is that it is negative because we associate it with negative emotions or not being able to see everything clearly, literally and spiritually. It feels dangerous. It feels like a place of loss. But that perspective is our limitation, nowhere close to the truth. Our idea of darkness must transform from negative to generative so we can learn forward, so we can release what no longer serves us. We get to move into a space of not knowing what is next in order for the light to feed us and the darkness to feed us, and manifestation to expand beyond the thing our heads think it should be. I love what my head thinks I should be. And I know that there is a greater expansive space that it comes from the darkness of not knowing that makes that place of knowing a source of wisdom for me and a connection with the divine. I remember when I left a toxic workplace and leapt into impossibility. What a terrible, wonderful adventure. It took a year to decide that safe suffering wasn't safe at all and finally to quit. I tried everything to stay, everything. I tried getting a new job. I tried making a safe path. I tried making a safe path to stay. I tried everything. But eventually I realized that the way out of no way was simply to take a step away. And after I left, I felt as though I'd given up the golden goose. Some friends didn't understand, and they aren't my friends anymore. Others did, but they wanted me to have a plan, like a name for the next step, like something to reassure them. All I had was my curiosity and enough savings to let the seeds of the mystery have a little time to stir and awaken. It was scary, but then it was exciting. In the end, all I really lost was the illusion of certainty. Once I truly let go of my ill-fitting workplace, I moved into a space of exploration that just was so exciting. All that suffering became a kind of courageous mulch that fed my soul's path as I moved through the fertile darkness of the unknown. And then came sparks. When I stepped away from that job, I never expected the adventures that would be offered me. I traveled to China and taught all over that complex country. I dove deep into Hawaiian culture and healing, finding grounding and expansion in the elemental breaths that connected me to sacred Aina and aloha through my kumu, through my teachers. I woke up listening to my soul's calling, to the still small voice that sang to me from the unknown. I reinvented myself. I stepped up to leadership opportunities that would never have been available had I stayed in the safe half-light of the past. I failed and I succeeded and I experimented and I healed. I twisted and rooted in earth until I rose to a greater light. Enmeshed in the unknown, my intention and the breath of God moved together, not knowing how to speak exactly what I was intending, not knowing where I was going, but feeling it, holding the feeling in the dark. I could feel I was being in the right direction, even though I wasn't moving in any direction at all necessarily, according to my brain. I took my first steps then towards what is now a thriving business, but I didn't know it. I was learning forward, starting with trust in what I could not yet name or see. And I was scared and happy and sad and confronted all sorts of my own personal challenges and met so many cool people who had done the same. And it was probably the bravest, the hardest, and the easiest thing I've done in my whole life. That's the dark. That's the seedling moment, isn't it? Once we embrace gestation, there's room to dream with the divine. Dreaming is realization. That darkness is not unformed just because it's gestational. Every seed has both a template and its own unique evolution. In this intimate space of dreaming, we learn something that the light can't teach us. Here, Akua and the soul together conceive everything, anything. Every story can be told here. And in the dark telling, we weave possibility out of impossibility, impossibility into possibility, and the two ideas become one. Yes, and. We learn to improvise from the authentic raw material we are born to share. When we allow the unknown to teach us how to dream with the divine, we find creative wholeness. We feel it before we name it. We listen, we pause, we imagine. Ernest Holmes said, "True imagination is not fanciful daydreaming. It is fire from heaven." And you know, on the Big Island, that fire also comes from deep in the earth, from Pele and others who warm the darkness to foster birth. The darkness also has fire. The heaven, the light, must speak with, must connect with the darkness. That fire in the darkness holds the heat of inspiration. And in that play of light and dark, the truth is revealed and prompted to rise to the surface of your creative, precious life, if you have the courage to leap. So where are you changing? Where are you learning? Where are you feeling that mystery in your life? Do you sense an idea somewhere, a submerged heat, a spark, even as you move through the darkness of the unknown? You are the artist creating your life, as certainly as a poet brings a poem to the surface of that fruitful imagination that we all have. Are you willing to nurture your vision? Do you trust the unknown to germinate the manifestation of the new, unknown you cannot yet see, unknown you cannot predict? Hawaii is an island full of light. I love the light on Hawaii. When I was there, I was reminded of the many times I just would land and I would touch the earth and I would just say, "Oh, the light! Oh, the earth! Oh, the smells! Oh, the life of this island is so powerful." And in my recent visit, I saw that light of potential in each of your West Hawaii Center faces that I was able to meet. And I honor that light as light. Never think I don't honor light. But aloha is not only a result of claiming the light in the shadowy mists of Waimea, in the dark, deep settling of the night against the mauna that sheltered us, sheltered me, shelters you always. You also dream in the dark. Hawaii also dreams in the dark. I believe that it is that dreaming that brings us together here on New Year's Eve in the turning of the year. We have been taught to fear the dark, but that is like fearing the womb or fearing ourselves, creatures of light and dark, yearning to manifest home or healing or love, but not only sure how that will look in our lives. Our alignment with God helps us hold uncertainty and yearning and discovery and ultimately manifest our lives in that light we were born to choose, to discover. And then we are offered another chance to grow and dive into the darkness, as we must, to celebrate the mystery that light and dark are one. Seeds can only come alive in the darkness, and they drive towards the light. Being always comes before doing, even before naming. Knowing requires trust in the darkness as well as the light. So today, at the turning of our human year, ask yourself, what do you not know today? That place is where the divine that nurtures your soul is rich and inviting and calling you to dive. You and God are one in the dark and in the light. From the root, when you emerge into the light of knowing, rainbows will double your joy. So, what is your intention here and now? Have you done your work in the darkness? Or are you most comfortable in this moment in your life in the light? Are you willing to open in prayer to the unknown? God is always present and in the dark and in the light. Let's remember this through the Hawaiian way of knowing, Malama Pono. Let us be more than do, listen more than declare, learn before we limit, trust that aligning with spirit gives us a reason and a purpose, a kuleana that helps us dream and know and learn Malama correctly, truly, creatively, Pono. So what are you doing New Year's Eve? In all the celebration, and I hope there is a lot of it for every single one of you, remember to open to the still small voice of prayer, the yes and that includes the deeper dark and the brightest light. Oh, our thoughts are indeed prayers, but our thoughts alone are sparks against damp wood. By mastering the dark, we celebrate the light. We dream in the dark, so our light can awaken in the world. In 2024, let us help each other trust both our journeys through the known and unknown, rising together in aloha, sourced by every level of being, fueling the deeply nurtured mysteries and the shining manifestations of God's love we co-create in the world together. Mahalo nui loa, and so it is.